When I first got involved with Doi Chaang, I had absolutely no knowledge about coffee apart from drinking it. I had no idea how it was grown, really where it was grown, all the work that was undertaken by all the farmers. At the beginning, I was introduced to Doi Chaang by a friend of mine in Thailand, Porn Prapar, and she told me I should meet this wonderful guy whose name is Vicha, who was a cross between a hippie and a monk, and he had decided he was going to assist a hill tribe.
But Kun Sandra introduced me to him, that he's a good man, he might help many things with our tribe, you know, the Akha tribe that Kun Sandra also know that very poor, and but we work hard, you know. So we met, and just happened Kun John liked our coffee very much. When he drank, he said, "Oh, this is very good coffee." So that's how we start 5 years ago.
This is what I'll do. We'll buy your green beans and we'll pay you more than fair trade price. In fact, we'll pay almost double fair trade price. And in return for that, what we want to do is to have an exclusive for the importing of the green beans into Canada and into Europe. And we will roast them and we will sell them under the name of Doi Chaang. And we'll give you half of that company and we will fund it 100%. That really gave them a boost. So he went back to the villagers and the leaders and he relayed to them what we had agreed, and that became the beginning of what's been quite an incredible journey for me.
You know, from 200 acres and we sell just only 1 kilogram for 50 cents. Now 1 kilogram we can sell like $10, $12. All that money come back to the community. I expand the company to have more connection, and we expand the cultivation area. Now we have more than 8,000 acres. That's just only in Doi Chaang.
And if we look at Doi Chaang now and see how it was 3.5 years ago to as it is now, it's really incredible. From going, having a small washing facility, which was no bigger than about, I don't know, 10 meters by 15 meters, they now have 4 or 5 washing plants. From starting with 200 acres, they're now up to some 8,000 acres that have been planted with coffee. They have a large warehouse that can probably accommodate, I don't know, about 500 or 600 tons of green beans. They have a roasting facility, 2 roasters in fact, where they roast and sell coffee. They built an academy whereby it's free for the farmers.
And now we expand all over the world. That's from his connection. Now we are a big family, Doi Chaang family, all over the world.
So where we are now, in North America and in Europe, Doi Chaang Coffee has become recognized as a well-established and respectable brand of coffee. The coffee itself has been reviewed by all the leading authorities in North America and given very high evaluations. Coffee Review, which is probably North America's leading review, has given ratings for the various roasts of around 90 points, which would put us in the top 1% of coffees in the world. Our coffees, such as the decaffeinated, is probably rated one of the highest that's ever rated for decaffeinated coffee. The Civic coffee, the highest rating that's ever given for Civic coffee. So we have the quality of coffee that has become well known in the coffee world. We've also received an outstanding amount of media. The media has found out about the story of Doi Chaang, the unique relationship that we have with the farmers. Another thing that's happened to us, which has been a real blessing, a Vancouver-based company, Canterbury Coffee, probably the largest private company in Western Canada, we formed a strategic alliance with Canterbury.
Well, John Darch, when we met, had said that his biggest project was how to get the Doi Chaang brand out in the North American market. The consumer today is very, very crowded with a lot of products, especially in the coffee category, and how do you know what one to pick? So John had come to us because we have quite a large distribution in Canada. We have a large food service division, and we're a roaster. So we had all the pieces that he needed to help him build the Doi Chaang Coffee Company in Canada.
They have embraced us. They have taken us out to their customer base, to their coffee shops, hotels, restaurants, right across Canada. And so as a result of that, more and more people get to know about Doi Chaang Coffee, get to learn the story.
Generally, in a well-established market like we have here, there's very highly educated coffee drinkers. They know good quality from bad. So we have to maintain our reputation in providing them the best quality we can, and the Doi Chaang product is among the best there is.
So as we grow forward, having established that great relationship with Canterbury, knowing their capacity is there to roast as much as we can bring in, the future for me looks extremely good for the Akha Hill Tribe people and Doi Chaang Coffee Company, because they have about 8,000 acres. That's all they can grow coffee in, no more. And currently they produce from about 4,000 to 5,000 acres. So progressively over the next 2 to 3 years, they will increase production to whereby we will have maybe 1,000, 1,500 tons of coffee a year. What that means is that we can satisfy the markets here and in Europe and in Australia and grow. And it will mean more and more money flowing back into the community. In addition to coffee, they now have other produce, things that were never thought of before, but actually are springing out of coffee. There are areas in that 8,000 acres that aren't perfect for coffee. So Vichai turned it around and started to grow tea, oolong soft branch tea, and the quality is beautiful. And quietly over the last 3 or 4 years, he's been growing this tea to the extent now that they can produce maybe 4 tons a year. The total production, when it's fully grown, will probably be no more than about 8 tons a year. In addition to that, they have coffee blossom honey. It was just an idea for Vichai, that they have so many blossoms with the coffee, let's put beehives in with the coffee plants. And so for a period of about 60 days a year, they produce coffee blossom honey. It's a beautiful honey. We again will be bringing this into Canada, and through Canterbury we will be selling it. And the beauty is we can sell it under the name of Doi Chaang. Now Doi Chaang is a recognized brand for coffee. It will then become so for tea and for honey. And what else do they have as a result of the trees that they grow, that they put in for shade? They have macadamia nuts, beautiful macadamia nuts, different from the ones that we have from Hawaii. And so again, we have additional produce that come in, additional revenue streams for the farmers. And last but certainly not least is what they call the coffee soap. Coffee soap, which to start with I thought, well, that doesn't sound interesting, but what they do is they take espresso grounds and they put honey in it and they produce a soap. And the coffee within the soap, when it's used, exfoliates the skin. And they can sell as much as they can produce. As we see the future, it's nothing but really good things for the community over there in terms of their lives, their lifestyles, younger people coming through, better education, better health, better family structure, more money into their infrastructure, roads, homes, etc. As we see over here, more coffee, more tea, more honey, more soap, more macadamia nuts, and maybe even coffee wine in the future.
We just opened the Doi Chaang Coffee Cosmetics. We're doing soap, and we will have shampoo, we have a day cream, night cream, and more. That's just from the waste or coffee oil or coffee that not good for drinking. I mean, B grade, C grade, whatsoever. We'll use that coffee to make something else.
This is not just a humanitarian situation. It's one that can be viewed that way. But what it can be seen as is a way of advancing a society that's had nothing and has got no privileges, has got no rights. All it has is an opportunity. And it's helping a group of people who are willing to put their heart and soul and all their efforts into growing what is probably one of the best coffees in the world.